Okay. Well, what I want to say today is that I think what's happening with America is right now. I think the problem is that Americans have not learned the history of their country, which is real important because if they did, they wouldn't tolerate the stuff that's coming up right now. We got governors that are making decisions to end this. It's happening now, but it's not that it's something just happening. It's like I've been seeing this coming for a long time, and this week it really just touched me real hard when I seen governors saying, "Well, we're going to shut the churches down," and then they got these little people around them saying, "Yeah, well, you can have church, but you can't sing, you can't do this," and I'm saying, it comes back to this. God said, I meant not God, but the followers of Jesus said, after Jesus had been put to death and risen and had gone, uh, the emperor, I think the word was, "Don't preach Jesus no more." And they said, "Who should we listen to? Who should we obey, man or God?" And I think we're at that point right now in the church. I think the church is right now at the point where they got to say, we stand for God. God, Jesus said. I just think right now, more than anything, the church needs to wake up. It's amazing. A few years back, I started something. I remember I started a thing called a stand. I didn't have no idea what the whole thing. I just knew God wanted me to do something, but it's almost like this is the time right now. This is the stand. This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to stand. If you are a Christian, it's no how you say, laying back. The sad thing about us, we become so blessed till it spoils us, and we don't understand. You can't back off this thing because the devil is around there. He's playing his little games. And when I heard the governor of New York come out and say the things he said the other day, he didn't just he brought back things that Sarah Palin said about death panel. When this man came out and began to defend something he did that was, he's putting it on. He's trying to put it on Trump now, where he had to put people in, older people in these rest homes that he ordered them to put the people in that had the virus, and it ricocheted. And he don't want to take responsibility for that. But the problem is right now, the thing is that my message today is that we got to wake up. The church needs to know right now we have a responsibility. If we're going to be the church, either that or get out the way and let the ones that God are calling to move forward and begin to do it. I think the time is now when God's people need to just stand up and say, "Hey, no more, no more." Either tell us you don't want us, or either tell us you're going to do this. And see, this virus thing gave them such a cover. So I'm for some reason the virus didn't worry me that much like it does a lot of people, but it's just amazing how this virus gave them such a cover, how they just use this to do what they want to do. And right now we are being threatened. The church is being threatened, but I thank God for Donald Trump, because with all that, this thing was on my heart for the past whole week, what I've been seeing, and then Donald Trump come out yesterday and said the church will open. You will open the door. If you don't, he said, "I will override you." I got to tell you something, man. People, that God gave us a president that is a fighter. This man is he's our man. He's it. But we need to keep him covered with prayers. We need really, because I think what people don't understand is this is the way this man, his character, his heart, everything about him is different. But people look at, well, he don't speak this way, he don't speak that way. You read the Bible, you got Moses, you got David, you got Peter. With just those three alone, you got imperfect people. They all had imperfect people. They was all imperfect people. Peter, of course, he stood before Jesus and told Jesus, "You are the God. You the Son of God. You it." And Jesus said, "Well done, Peter, because that can only come by the Holy Spirit." And he said, and then he turned right around after and said, when Jesus said, "I will be taken and be crucified," Peter said, "No, we ain't going to have that," just like that. He said, "Get thee behind me, Satan," because that was his mouth. That was, see, God is not looking for perfection. He's looking for people that are saying, I have a heart for you. I have a desire for you. I want to follow you. He's looking for the heart. And that's what we find in these men. I know people. Some people might think, "Well, you're going too far by describing Trump." I'm just trying to say what God do. He used Trump. What do you that toughness, that harshness, that stand firmness? He got that, and he uses for our country today. There's no better man. You know, I was a big supporter of Ted Cruz, and I still like Ted Cruz. I think he's an awesome person, but I don't think nobody could have done or stood up to the Democrats like Ted Cruz. And getting back to the word Democrat, better wake up. If there's any Christians out there that think you're supposed to vote for Democrats, you better wake up. All the people that's holding these states down, all the people that's keeping the lockdown down, everybody, they doing it for a reason. It's all Democrats. The Republicans have went forward and they have opened things up, and it's time for God people to see. I know we don't like to talk politics and religion. Well, I love to talk politics and religion because guess what? The two most important things in our lives is politics and religion, and it's amazing how the devil have shut both of them down. We need to talk this stuff because why? It's those politicians going to make laws for your life, and it's those spiritual things that God give you that's going to make it move forward. See, so we can't just walk away from this thing. But I just said this message that I want to say right now. I just want to say that it's time that we move forward. It's time for God's people to wake up. And it's time for God's people to understand it's here now. We've seen it and we heard it. All this stuff that went on in overseas, the torture of the Christians. The devil ain't gonna sit around and just let us continue to go if we don't understand what we in and what we got here. Jesus said they hate me. And for that purpose, they're going to hate you too. Maybe not in those words he said it, but that's what he was saying. That they're going to hate us too. And so what we got to do is stand right now. I think that word that God gave me about stand, I think it's now the accent of it is coming out. It's time for American people and American Christians to stand. And the Democratic Party, they always have been and they always will be an evil party. And it's time we just break away from them. Thank you very much.
Now, Larry, let me add something to this. Or
Okay.
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
You tell us to stand and you tell us to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
What are some practical ways for us to stand and to wake up?
Well, after you can't really stand unless you wake up.
So what does that mean to wake up?
To wake up and begin to notice the things, to see the things. Say for instance, the church has been led to what I've heard someone say is asleep sort of. What I mean by wake up, look around you, study this stuff, check it out. I mean, when these governors say what they say, look into their heart, look at their face, see what they say, and then begin to think, where did this happen for? It happened in Germany. It happened in Cuba. So we need to wake up. I mean, wake up. We need to look at that. We listen to that. Now, when I say stand is just mean to be firm. If you're going to be a Christian, be a Christian. It's like Paul said, when you've done all you can do, stand. And I really like the way he did that because he said, and you stood all you can stand. Remember, you never not stand. And so the thing about wake up, this is important. I guess I need to explain that. Really, we do need to begin to look into this thing, and notice it. If we begin to key in, we can see stuff. But if we're going to sit back and just be like, don't matter. I work with a guy right now that's a Christian, that's claimed to be a Christian. But when you say godly thanks to him, he's in another world. And he's so comes up, we don't need to talk Christianity on the job. We don't need to talk. I said, well, child, understand why I feel, so why shouldn't we? I just think we need to wake up and stand up, okay? Do it that way. And that might be, I don't know if that confused people or not, but all I'm saying is in era waking up, do what a Christian's supposed to do. Be into Christianity. Study the word. Do things. I think right now more than anything, the guy that sell the pillar things on Fox News, he came out and said that we all need to look in our Bibles again. It's time. It's time we do that. Something is happening. Something is coming. And due to the fact that Trump stood up this time and stopped them people from doing it, and he said he said firmly the church is going to open this weekend. Either that or I'm going to override them. I like that. I think that's what it's going to take, because God people, we need support. We have never had a president or anybody that was standing for us like this. And I just think it's time that we stand too. If he's going to stand, we need to stand with him.
And you also mentioned praying for our president.
Consistently. Listen, Moses went to, when the Israelis went to war, and at one point Moses had to hold a rod up, and as long as he was holding the rod up, Israel was winning. And his hand got tired; he was coming down. The war was being lost. But until the people got around him, the other guys, other leaders got around and held his hand up. That's when they overcome and won the war. He needed help. Our president, he's doing what he can. He's just being himself. But we need to support him, because, listen, the devil see what he's doing. The devil know who he is, and he want to take him out. The